Hey everyone, welcome back to the Loading Time podcast. I'm Demi and I'm joined by Elijah and Sean.
So
Fresh off actually finally seeing Brave New World, but we're gonna get into that later on in this episode. But first off, let's just get into the recommendation. So who should go first? Sean, what you been doing? What you been reading? What you been watching?
Well, at the moment, I have basically rewatched Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen,
Okay.
and I've just basically watched the second to last episode. I was just basically like, what was I? Well, I don't know what I was trying to do. I think I was just like thinking, this is a good anime. I should just like watch it. And I think I was rewatching it and I stopped and I just continued basically the Shibuya arc bit. But then I also bought the Prince of Persia game. There are two that came out.
The one with the black man, the one with the stereotypical
one
black
where-
man haircut.
The one where you actually don't play the prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
You actually play a soldier that's part of the one of these like super soldier people that are part of their army basically.
It's
You
the
don't
most
play
recent
prince. Well, there are two. There's one that's more recent than that one, but that one's more like a roguelite.
Okay.
It's like it's like more artistic.
Okay. Yeah.
So I didn't play that one. I played this one. This one's a lot. It's just like an adventure game basically. It's not like a roguelite. Playing it, I was like sitting there going, do I play the hardest mode? Or do I played the mode before? Because I've been burnt before because I played Tales of Iron and I played that on the hardest mode and I suffered. I suffered on that. I finished it, but I suffered. Like basically,
The thing with the rats.
yeah, because there are no invisibility frames on that thing. Instead of it being a reactive combat, it is to a point, but some bosses are just like it's a dance. You have to know what they're going to do and be standing in the right place. And I was worried that because they didn't tune it. Like when you play God of War on the hardest mode, Elijah, and you fight those bosses, and it's not tuned to fight those kind of bosses, and it's just not fun. It's just the most frustrating thing ever. So I was worried that it would be like that, but so far it's not. So far it's like I beat like the first boss. So far it's like it's quite fun. Like the combat is pretty solid. It's really reactive. You can parry. You have invincibility frames, thank God. But like you get hit once or twice and you die because I'm playing the hardest mode essentially. But yeah, so I'm playing that and occasionally trying to just like peel through the story of Horizon as well. But I'm finding it kind of. I want to like it, but I'm just getting a bit. Yeah, I want to like it. Like I'm just playing the main story. I'm just ignoring all the side quests, and the story actually is interesting, but I'm just finding it a bit like hard to get into. Like you're like saying like, oh, it's just I got bored, and I was like, I'm feeling that. I'm like trudging. I am trudging through it, and it's not even like a bad game. It's well put together, but I'm just like struggling to.
It's not a great game. It's okay. It's like it's alright.
Yeah, I think maybe because of the combat is quite simple, I guess. Like you just aim and shoot things, and you shoot things.
Yeah.
Well, it's not simple. That's not true. But like the combat is aim and fire, but not like in the first-person shooter way, like just machine gun stuff, whatever. It's very much like you scan the thing, you do slow mo, you aim for like a sensitive part, you shoot the thing, you rebuild your. It's quite repetitive, and I don't know. I just find it quite like. It's like a 6.5, 7, 10 game. But yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing. So.
No, I get it. Tego loves the game, but he would disagree with you. But I almost get the greatest thing ever. Because he likes Monster Hunter, and it is very Monster Hunter like.
I'd say Monster Hunter is I've only played the first Monster Hunter, so I can't even say.
I didn't. Remember we had the whole Monster Hunter thing that kind of blew up on YouTube.
Everyone hated me.
And even though we say it's a good game, but it's boring. It can get very boring.
It's a farm. It's a thing where you have to basically like just there's no story to it. It's basically the only point. You have to be someone who likes to like make your gear better. That's the loop. It's like you want to get better gear so you can kill things better. And if that's not your kind of playstyle, then you're just not gonna.
Isn't there like a very like basic story to it?
The newest one has a basic story to it.
Okay.
But generally the story
it's
is
10
quite
hours, nothing.
Yeah, the story generally are quite simple. It's not about the story like at all.
It's about playing with your friends and playing online and
I think with friends, it's one of those games that basically played it with friends would be really really fun.
Yeah,
I think, but solo might be a bit like
solo will be a bit boring.
Yeah,
I mean, you can always jump online and help people in their raids or whatever.
Yeah. And the combat is deep. Like I've seen some videos of the Wild one. Like the combat is really deep. Like there's loads of stuff you can do and stuff, and it's I imagine it would be quite fun with like a bunch of people.
Yeah, story mode's a tutorial, basically.
Hmm?
I said the story mode is a tutorial. Once you beat that, then you're like, okay, I can play the game now. Yeah, it teaches you the basics.
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Okay.
How are you guys up to then? What have you guys been doing? What you been playing? What you been watching?
I've picked up Zelda again.
The newest one,
Tears of the Kingdom again.
Yeah.
I just thought, screw it. Let me just go to the second dungeon. I'm only on the second dungeon because I can't be bothered most of the time to build things. But like, I'm like, okay, when you're doing the dungeons, the building part is actually quite funny.
Right.
Yeah, because you just have to problem solve in your own way. It's like, I'm just gonna put a rocket on this thing and see what happens. That part is funny. It reminds me of Minecraft. But like, yeah, I'm enjoying it a bit more after leaving it for a while. So that's what I'm doing. Other than that, that's pretty much the latest thing I've been doing. I haven't really been reading anything new. I found another platform to read my stuff, read my manga, which is quite good. But other than that, not really reading anything else, to be honest. I did what you did say about Jujutsu Kaisen. I was watching a video of like Totally Not Mark. He does these like blind reviews of like anime and stuff, and it was his first time actually watching JJK, and he was just like, "Yo, this thing is so good!" Like he absolutely loves it. And while I was watching it, I was just like, "There's a big JJK hole left." After because it's finished, I'm just like,
I don't know what else to read,
because it's just like I look at that because My Hero and JJK ended around the similar time, so like I'm just like, but I don't look at My Hero the same way I look at JJK at all.
Yeah, I think JJK is way better.
It is. Yeah. It's a different like audience.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really been it with me, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. That JJK haul is. I haven't filled it yet. No, I haven't filled it yet. I haven't. There's no other manga that I'm
Nothing
reading
else.
that is. I mean, Holy Land is interesting, but it doesn't grip me like JJK might be my favorite. It might top 3, I think. Is either Attack on Titan or JJK is my favorite.
Really?
All time, yeah.
Oh wow.
I enjoyed the shit hell out of that, man.
I'm sure there probably is another manga out there that probably is like good, but it's just finding it is hard because there's so many. It's like committing the time to.
Yeah, I don't think there's one that is currently running right now that I think I might have to go to like a classic.
There might not be running
like a 20th Century Boys or Slam Dunk or something
they're like
that.
old stuff. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Old school stuff, and like, okay, cool, I can sink my teeth into it. But in terms of what I'm doing now, anime wise, I'm watching Orb. I'm trying to catch up on that. It's nice. It's interesting.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I do like it. It's very interesting.
It's good, yeah.
It just makes you think. Like, it makes me laugh because it's all about religious stuff and how they're kind of blinding themselves to the truth because of religion and stuff like that. And so, I like how it kind of blends this kind of thing because it's based on. I mean, it's historical fiction, isn't it? Because back in those days, in terms of when they were arguing that the earth revolves around the sun, that was seen as heresy. That people got killed because just by saying that, because they said, God didn't say that. So it's quite interesting to see how they kind of work around it. You see the very religious people trying to almost go against, feels like, I'm going against God by revealing this, but it's the truth. So what do I do?
Yeah. It's really good.
It's a very interesting kind of dynamic. But it's interesting. It reminds me of a lot of Vinland Saga. It's not very battle manga-y. It's it's very in your mind, intellectual and stuff. So
I feel like Vinland Saga sort of builds up to the combat. Like it's philosophical, and then suddenly it's like the wrong people, because obviously it's about fighting really. So like
it's about fighting
it's about being like, what's a better way to be pacifist or not, basically. So eventually, but in this one it's not. It's just like, are you pro truth or are you pro like status quo kind of thing? It's
good. It's good. I like it.
How many episodes in are you?
Oh, I think I'm in episode 9, so I'm a bit far away.
I think isn't the max 12 currently? Not max, sorry, but like
isn't that 16 or 18 or something?
Is it 16? I don't remember.
I looked at it, I was like, I got lots to catch up on. I remember looking at it like, oh my days. So I think it's 16, 18.
Maybe it's 16,
is it finished? No, it's not finished. It's still going on, isn't it?
No.
Oh,
I feel like it's near the end.
I feel like it is.
Is it just one season?
I haven't read the manga, so I don't know.
It feels like it is. It feels like a 26 episodes kind of gig.
Yeah, it feels like it could end quite like cleanly.
Yeah,
because the manga's finished. So
yeah, I'd be interested also to know how much like they didn't add from the manga.
Yeah,
because it seems quite like very, very short run. If this is all they have in it, it seems like very short run.
2 years. It was a 2 year run. Yeah,
it's really short.
That's really short.
It's gonna end soon. 2 years. It started 2020 September 14th, 2020, finished April 18th, 2022.
I think that's all right.
Only 8 volumes. Yeah, it's only 24 episodes. That's it. Done.
Right. Okay. 24. Okay.
Yeah, so I can understand why they're doing it the way they are in terms of the weekly releases.
Yeah. Because it's not a lot, is there?
Yeah, it's not a lot. So yeah, I'll finish it.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
When I recommended it to my friend, I was like, "You're not gonna like." I recommended Castlevania and Orb to him. I was like, "You probably won't like Orb, but it's really good. But you probably won't like it because he's like, oh, I like he just likes his fighting."
He likes his fighting. There's no fighting. There's not a lot of fighting.
There's not a lot of fighting.
It's not centered around.
Yeah, it's not centered around that kind of thing. But actually, you're watching it, it's like it's quite good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
He said he's not sure about the way they're doing the main characters. I don't want to spoil it, but he's not sure about that. I quite like it because I'm just like it's quite tense. Yeah, you're just like when what happens to the first one, and you're like, oh my god, really?
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was like Game of Thrones again.
Yeah, just Game of Thrones.
Like someone's gonna come save this person.
No, mate, that was it. He was not the main character, you know. It's interesting when people see it, like culturally, it's how different, like how people see Ned Stark. Like our Westerners will see him as a hero, and other people see him as a fool. Like so. It's interesting depending on where you spin it. Like culturally, it's very different. Culturally, some guys be like, "No, this guy's an idiot, man. What are you doing? You're an idiot."
Yeah, but they're working with like hindsight, to be honest, and no responsibility. They're like,
no, in terms of like, but it's like you gotta be a bit more diplomatic, bro. Like but
well, we're still talking about Ned Stark, right?
Ned Stark. I mean, he shouldn't have given her an out. He should have immediately arrested her ass, man. Like, what the hell? You're giving a guy that lied to her husband, and you've given that kind of person a chance to make amends. You know, didn't make. When you really think about it, it's like, it was such a bad idea.
Yeah,
it cost him his life.
That's the nature of Game of Thrones.
And the lives of his children.
It's like you either try and be like just, or you play the game. And
you play, bro. They know what. There was not one single just person Game of Thrones that survived. No one.
No.
All of the hoodlums. Lived.
Stayed all the way to the end.
All of the wrongers lived to the end, mate.
That's funny.
You know, so hilarious. It's so mad.
Oh man.
I'll game it anyway.
So let's move on to the first topic, which is Daredevil Born Again. So Daredevil Born Again, so far at the time of recording this episode, there's 2 episodes out, coming out every Tuesday. And just before it came out, there was kind of concerns about reshoots and stuff because they had a version of it, and a lot had been filmed, and I think a lot had been filmed already.
Right.
And then Kevin Feige came in, and he was just like, "This is unwatchable," basically.
Really?
Yeah. Like he said, scrap the whole thing and do it again. So the version that we're getting now is actually the second version of it.
Director's cut.
Yeah. I wonder what. Whenever this happens, I'm always like, what was the original like?
Thank God.
But like, currently I'm like, this is a good show.
Maybe they were going to Marvelify it, if you see what I mean, that whole tone. And that's what a lot of people were worried about. But yeah, it's the new seasons come out. And the reshoots, it's clear what the reshoots are. I'm not going to put, you can kind of tell. But it's I'm not going to say anything because of spoilers and stuff like that, but it's got good reception. It's I watched it, and when I was watching episode 1, I was like, remember when I texted you guys, like, this is how you start a season.
Yeah.
This is how you start a season. Like, it's just I just can't say too much, but the way it's shot, the camera angles, like it looked like they actually made an effort with it. And the tone is right. Like the little things, such as like someone just tapping on the table and you're hearing the sound of it, like it's directed really, really well in episode 1 anyway. and just to reintroduce it because it's been a long time. I don't know how many years it's been since the last Daredevil was out.
It's been a little while. I don't know how long it's been a while.
Yeah, and of course, like I guess it's kind of we've been waiting for this since we saw him in like Spider-Man No Way Home, and we saw like Kingpin in Hawkeye and stuff like that. So like it's just been a good kind of lead up. But yeah, it was good, man. I enjoyed it. I was just like these. I was like yes.
Yeah, because I had the same concern. Yeah. When I saw they were bringing it, and I was like, are they going to keep the same tone though? Because with all this, most of the series that they've released, the tone is really like, apart from the darkest thing they had before this was probably what you call it, WandaVision, to be honest. Like only psychologically dark. It wasn't really like dark psychologically dark. And I guess you could say like the wolf thing is probably a bit dark.
Yeah.
But that's not really it was just like a Halloween special kind of thing.
Yeah. I like that thing as well. It was good.
I actually didn't watch it, Neil.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a go. But like since then, there's nothing. Everything they released was quite like meh and very like sort of the tone was just really light and as you said before, like the Marvel paint they put over things. Yeah, and it's so obvious. And I was really concerned that they were going to do that to Daredevil, especially seeing him in She-Hulk.
Yeah,
and I was like, I really hope they don't make him like this. Like I really hope this isn't the tone they choose. And then watching the first episode, I was like, they have not reduced the tone at all. In fact, it's worse. After the second episode, I was like, it's worse. The first one was pretty like brutal, like really gritty and brutal. But that last scene on episode 2, I was like,
Yeah.
Like
I can imagine, I remember I saw Punisher and I saw a gym scene.
Punisher is pretty
when
pretty
Bishop
brutal.
is fighting the guys in the gym, and I'm like,
yeah,
it was
Punisher,
the
Punisher
so
brutality is about the same as the Daredevil brutality, I think. In fact, would I say the Punisher one is worse? I don't know. There's some
that gym scene was bad, man. Like, so I don't know how bad.
Yeah, I don't
is.
know because this must be season 2 of Punisher because I thought season 1 of Punisher. I don't remember the gym scene. This is gym scene when he's in prison.
I don't know what it is. It just comes out of the gym, is beating these guys, and he gets out the dumbbell, just bashes the guy in the head with it, and it's like
it might be season 2. I think I didn't watch season 2 of Punisher.
Yeah,
Punisher 1 is pretty. It's good. Punisher 1 is good as well. Actually, that show's good. But yeah, the Daredevil thing is good. Like they did something I didn't expect. Like at the start, I was like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Because like a main character, and I was like, oh, okay. And then they did like a bit of again, not going too much to spoil, like a bit of a time skip. Which again I didn't sort of expect, but it makes sense to just get the ball rolling. And there's some stuff that's happened because I recognize all the characters, but most of the characters, but some stuff has happened that I'm like, oh, I think I've missed something from season 3 of the Netflix one that I need to finish. Because there's like you said, you watch the recap. Because the whole sort of story, like the Kingpin in Daredevil series, basically became like the new model for Kingpin because you can see that same Kingpin in the Spider-Man. Multiverse Spider-Man animation.
Oh, okay.
Because in that one he's trying to bring back his wife
and his kid. Right?
Yeah, and that version of Kingpin, in my opinion, it probably exists in the comic already, but in the sort of MCU type thing, was originally from the Daredevil Kingpin because that was his stick. He's like, I'd like this, like I don't even say it's like he's not really mental, but he had a really bad upbringing basically, and just made him sort of have this sort of mindset. And then he meets this woman, and then like their relationship basically like humanizes him in a way. Like he's still Kingpin, but he has this woman that he's like in love with essentially, and she doesn't take shit. She doesn't take any nonsense at all. So it's like it's a really good show to watch. So if you haven't watched the Netflix Daredevil, like highly recommend.
Yeah. It's good, man.
I'm gonna catch up anyway. I finished something on Disney Plus. I'm gonna jump into Daredevil now.
Definitely good. Definitely good. And I'm fresh from watching season 3 as well.
You watched season 3 then?
I watched Daredevil season 3. I was a good season.
It's a good season.
Season 3 is good.
Okay, season 2 is a bit.
Season 2 is alright.
How many seasons of Daredevil?
3
is there? Okay.
Yeah. I just skipped Defenders completely because
Defenders is bad.
I just watched the recap of Defenders and then went straight to season 3.
So bad.
I wonder if they'll bring them back. They probably will.
I don't know.
I think they might.
Yeah, I think they will.
So not Iron Fist. Please don't bring back Iron Fist.
I mean, but he's one of them, isn't it? So it's like,
but like they should. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage would be good to bring
that'd
back.
be good.
Yeah, their shows were. Jessica Jones was good. Daredevil was good. Luke Cage was all right.
Season 1 was good up until
season 1 up until Cottonmouth died.
When Cottonmouth died, I was like, nah. Yeah, kind of just went off. And then,
how are they gonna do so? This kind of I don't mean to go on a tangent, but if Daredevil's MCU, that means Defenders is also MCU. Then that means Cottonmouth is MCU. But Cottonmouth is also now Blades is MCU. Both actors play the same.
They just wouldn't mention it. It's just
how funny would it be if Cottonmouth comes out as a variant?
No, I don't think.
Screw that.
I don't think they're going to bring him back. I think that character is probably dead and break. They have no reason to. Like, what would be the reason to bring it back? I mean, also, in fact, could they use him? Because he's a good actor. Like, could they use him for something? Maybe, but it doesn't really.
Do you think he still does Blade? I don't think he does Blade anymore. I think they'll just put him in as another character.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah, they really messed up.
I mean, like we all kind of in agreement that basically this phase is just a mess, essentially. Yeah. And I'm basically just throwing away like my expectations until the next phase. I'm just like,
he's not part of this phase, isn't he?
He's supposed to be part of this phase.
Like he's after the multiverse saga, isn't he?
I swear he was supposed to be. The movie was supposed to come out ages ago. When did they announce him?
Then I want to check out.
They announced him. I still lived in what did I live in?
Were we still in like?
I don't think we even moved in together when they announced him.
Really? It was that long ago? Jesus.
No, it was no way that was that long. Hold on, we need to double check this.
When was Blade announced? I'm gonna Google this thing.
Well, definitely a while ago. Wait, I don't know.
You're right. It was supposed to be 2020. Jesus,
2019.
It was supposed to be this year. It was supposed to be this year.
Yeah,
it was supposed to come out this year. Jeez.
In 20...
I mean, that's impossible.
So 19.
Like, I just think they basically just like
in 2019
thrown out whatever they're going to do for this phase. Let's just end this phase.
How hard is it to make a vampire film again? Like,
yeah, but they even wanted to connect, don't they? I mean, I say that even though
nothing's
none of
connected
this space connects at all.
Previous movie,
even though none of this space connects at all.
Just make a good movie. Forget about connection. It's just that. It's just a black guy going around killing vampires. That's all you need.
I mean, that's what Blade.
That's what it is.
2 was. That's what Blade 1 and Blade 3 was.
Do it again. It works.
So he's supposed to be part of multiverse. Jeez, wow. Oh,
and they put his. Remember, he was in Eternals. His voice was in Eternals. Remember, another plot point that never came out.
His voice was in Eternals.
Post credits. Yes.
Oh,
wait. I need to look at that.
He was like, "Oh, are you sure you want to do that, Mr. Whitman?"
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. Oh my days. That's they have to bring him. Okay, now that
see why it's just like, come on.
Yeah, that's a mess up.
So that same actor is the voice then.
Yeah.
Oh my days, they ain't doing shit.
We got mess up, we got a Blade in What If before we got. No. We're getting a Blade in the zombies, Marvel Zombies, before we're getting a Blade movie. Does that make sense? And it's a Blade that is a Moon Knight. Does that make any sense? Like,
so anyway, right now, because I'm just looking at what they've got so far. They've got 21 Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. Then 26 they've got Doomsday, then Secret Wars. So they have to somehow fit Blade in between.
They're not going to.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they have a choice. Because how they're going to do it? I don't know how they're going to do it.
Maybe they'll do what they did with Captain Marvel, or after Infinity War, Captain Marvel came. So maybe after Doomsday.
Yeah, I guess
it comes Blade.
It would make a good period.
Secret Wars.
Yeah, it would make a good period film. It would actually make
it. Yeah, like you're right. Okay, yeah. If they just do it like separate from everything, let's not have the connection to anything. They just make it like you say, just this vampire slayer just going around killing stuff. Then it could work. Although I'd rather it had a bit of a story to it, but rather than just
but they've already screwed it up. So they probably won't see until 2026.
After
post Doomsday.
I'd be surprised if we see that anytime soon. Personally, we shall see.
We'll see.
Watch Daredevil Born Again. Or watch the Daredevil series. Full stop. To be honest, it's just good.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. So, we'll wait until Elijah catches up. before we talk.
I'll catch up this week. Yeah,
properly. So
by the next one, we'll be able to discuss.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. Moving on to the main topic, we've got Captain America: Brave New World.
Hoi.
And the long-awaited. How many? Which is the fourth Captain America film? I think.
Yes, it's the fourth one. Yeah, because we got Winter Soldier, Civil War, and this one. So this is the fourth.
Yes. And going into it was interesting because remember I was telling you guys, it's not getting good reviews and stuff like that, but we're going to see it anyway. And we went in not having any high expectations.
My expectations were low, like
super low
at all. I was like,
you said that people said that it's bad, but a guy you trusted is okay.
Yeah,
there was a thing I watched which they said that it was just kind of like meh, and that they didn't like the way Harrison Ford is too old for the role.
Okay.
So I was basically thinking like, it's not going to be good, is it? And then I kept seeing all these clips on clips on like not full videos, but like the screenshots they put before the thumbnail before the video, right? Sort of making hints about things in the movie that didn't make sense. So I was going in like, they're just gonna like do some rubbish reason as to how he wins and da. So really low expectations there.
Or Elijah, start with you. What were your thoughts having watched the movie?
It was alright, I can't lie. It was
spoilers going here forward, by the way.
Yeah, that's got spoilers.
Yeah. I didn't.
The movie's been out for ages, so
yeah,
it's been out for a while.
Yeah,
but no, it's not as the way people made it sound. I thought it was like Eternals. I know somebody likes Eternals.
We won't get into it, don't worry.
Love and Thunder. Okay, no, universally loved, right? You Love and Thunder. I thought it was like, it's that bad. Nowhere near. It's a very passable movie. Like you can watch it a couple of times, but it's a decent night out. Nothing special, but it wasn't like criminally bad or anything.
No,
like that.
Yeah.
Who's the actor that plays for Cap? I can't remember his name. But he's a decent actor. He was all right.
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie is good. I just feel like he's naturally a very funny guy, but it doesn't really come out in the movies. He's like, if you see him naturally when he's talking, like even
it's so funny.
Bro, there's an old show when it's like, if he tells a woman to make a sandwich,
yeah.
And the way he explains it, and it's hilarious, and you're like, but it doesn't come out in the movies, which I don't really understand. It's like, but then again, if he's always jokey all the time in the movies, him acting and stuff like Love and Thunder, just unnecessary jokes. And so maybe he was kind of looking for a more balanced kind of, and then when he did some of the jokes, they did work and they did land anyway. So fair enough. So he's got personality and stuff like that. In terms of the villain in the movie, I think is the reason why they did the trailers the way they did, because he's kind of like this mysterious person. You don't really know who he is, and then you're only up until the end. He kind of shows his face, and this is who I am. But he's not really the main. He's the main villain, but at the same time, there's not a lot of spotlight on him. It's really Harrison Ford. But then again, it's because of the trailers, because you're thinking Red Hulk all the time. When's Red Hulk going to come? So you're not really thinking about the villain. But it would have been hard to present the villain because he's supposed to be hidden, and who is this mysterious person and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, it's very difficult how they would have sold the idea of the movie without the introduction of Red Hulk. But the way that the movie was filmed, it's almost as if the big reveal is Harrison Ford is President Ross is Red Hulk.
Yeah.
So it's very weird the way they've done the trailer. At the same time, you're looking at the movie, this President Ross is Red Hulk, but you don't find out until the end. And it's almost as if, he's Red Hulk. But it's like, we already knew this because you spoiled the trailers. Yeah. So it's like, what was the point of doing it the way they did? It's just, I don't know. They were just a bit confused. I think they didn't really know how to package the villain, and they're like, okay, the villain's supposed to be hidden, so we kind of have to give the audience something to work with to go into the movie. Otherwise, it's going to bomb in the box office. That's how I thought it was going to be. But you did at the expense of, if they just kind of edited a couple of things, like when they first did the little snippet of Ross becoming Red Hulk, if they just kind of mirror that, maybe take off the red eyes and stuff, so it's not obvious he's Red Hulk, then I think it leads into the film a lot better. And then obviously you don't do the trailer the way you did, and you're like, oh my god, Red Hulk, But they kind of just made a couple of mistakes in my opinion, and it felt like a sequel to Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, rather than a sequel to Captain.
I never thought about it that way, actually.
A sequel to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because you don't need to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier to know if it's happened, other than Isaiah. But you can skip Falcon and Winter Soldier and watch this film and be like, But if you haven't watched Hulk, you'll be like, you would be a bit confused going into this movie. So it's very weird the way they did it.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting. Actually, no, Demi, go for it. You go first.
Oh, okay. I agree with that kind of thing. I'll go into more detail about like my thoughts about it, but I think it was a solid film. It's not in terms of like Marvel MCU films that are bombs. It's not one of those. It's one of the good ones, but it's not like high. If you see what I mean, it's kind of like the mid-level in the range of like what's good. It doesn't. I didn't come out thinking, "Oh my god, that was amazing," but I didn't come out feeling like I was robbed.
Yeah.
When I watched Ant-Man Quantumania, I felt like I wasted my money. I was like, why did I leave my house?
That movie was so bad.
And then Thor: Love and Thunder. I found it really funny, but then coming out of the film, I was like, they actually insulted my intelligence. Like, this film didn't insult my intelligence. It was what it was, and it didn't try and do too much with it. Like, it didn't try and be too smart with the plot. I think they kept the plots like tidy. It's not a perfect film by any means. Like, there's some criticisms I have about the film, but I think, like, because obviously the guy that used to play Thunderbolt Ross died, so they had to recast him. And if it's going to be Harrison Ford, he better be front and center. So it's like, I kind of get why they did the whole Red Hulk thing, but also it's a pity because that should have been a surprise for people. The same way the leader should have been, because the way they did the leader in the trailer, he was like, you wouldn't have been it, because Sean, you were saying you didn't know he was actually in the film.
No, I didn't.
In the trailers, he's in the trailers, but you can't tell, and it's mysterious. That's what they could have done with that Red Hulk and stuff like that. But it's I understand what people are saying, where it's like it seems like a Hulk sequel, but they're not allowed to make Hulk movies. He can only be because the license is still with Universal. So they can't actually. That's why we don't have any Hulk movies.
Oh,
because that's why Hulk is always like a character, a side character, because, and you have to tell his story is being told through other people because he can't have his own movies yet. Yeah. So I understand what people are saying. I'll go into more detail about it, but I think I just liked the film. It was entertaining. It was entertaining enough for me to be like, yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. Yeah. What about you?
I sort of like you say, like I have a system where I hate the way Marvel trailers are done. Like I think when did I stop watching all the trailers? It was even before Endgame. I think when a trailer comes out, I watch the first one and I ignore all the others. Because they just give too much away, which is just the general like consensus about most trailer. It's not even just Marvel, to be honest. Like, when we were in cinema, there was that trailer with I can't remember his name, the wrestler guy,
Batista. It's a Batista.
Yeah, Batista. Yeah, and that movie, like Elijah made jokes, like, you've seen the movie already. You watched the trailer. The entire movie is just like there in that 2-minute clip, and you're just like, there's no surprises. Like, there's nothing for me to. I'm sure they keep some surprises. Like, if you watched it, you'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I didn't know about that, and I know more about the plot or whatever. But you can make a trailer be really sort of enticing without giving so much away. And I felt like with the Marvel, way they do the Marvel trailers, like they do 3, I think, don't they? They do like the first initial one, which is a very short teaser, and they do like 2 longer ones.
Yeah.
And I watched the first one. I didn't watch anymore. And even in the first one, I think all you see is, Red Hulk's foot as he slams the shield.
Yeah.
Down. That's all you see. And I was like, and the same thing, I was like, okay, Red Hulk's in this. And I guess it's Harrison Ford because that's who the character is. Yeah, who else is going to be? And I was like, I was saying to you guys when I heard, like, they could have, and I didn't know Lita was in it. So I had the whole thing of the fun thing of having to work out who the villain was there. And I was like, who's that? And the second time I saw him, I was like, it's the leader. Okay, that makes complete sense. But, all they could have done, and I'm sure there's a reason they don't do it, because they're not stupid. I'm sure there's a reason they don't do it. I'm sure there's some stuff to do with, like, like you said, Elijah, like we have to put this person in because we need the hype. We need people to come and see it. We need hype. But I'd be like, you can still hint that there's a Hulk without showing the actual Hulk. You could literally all you could have done is, put bits of the bit where the leader's talking to him when he's on the boat and he's struggling.
He's starting to go mad.
You don't even have to even show Harrison Ford struggling or getting all sweaty or whatever. You can just put a bit of the leader's dialogue there and just put the raw, and that would have been enough, because people have been like, was that sounds, what's that, what's that? Let people just try and figure it out, and they would people would figure it out because they know what the leader does. They know the link between the leader and everything else, even if maybe they wouldn't have known as the leader or whatever. But just let people just sort of guess and try and figure stuff out and be that's what, like you said, I think you said it on your text before, with phase one, there was a lot of just people just trying to figure out what's going to happen, what does this mean, and they've lost that in this phase because none of the movies connect. So all you can do is sort of try and watch the movie and figure out who the villain is, figure out what the plot is, and so on and so forth. And the trailers just give so much of it away that it ruins the experience for me. Even for when I watched Spider-Man 1, I didn't watch the first trailer for Spider-Man 1. And I loved that movie. I thought that was so good. And there was so much of it I didn't expect.
Homecoming, right?
Yeah. I only watched the first trailer, nothing else. So I had no idea about any of it. And I was like, this is just great. And I feel I get why they're trying to sort of get people to get to the box office, and there's probably a science to it, and people are just simple and so on and so forth. But I feel they're just a more artistic way to do it. And in regards to the movie, I really liked it. I agree with what you said as well. It's not didn't blow me away, but I was engaged from beginning to end. At first, I was really sort of this is going to be a bad movie, so let me just start looking at the cracks, and then the bit where he landed, and I was like, why aren't your legs broken, bro? Why aren't your legs broken? And then you see the vibranium stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then made that sort of vibranium thing. I was like, okay, this makes sense as to how he might be able to fight back against Hulk. Because I'm like, there's no way that you're going to be able to do it, with just you or whatever. And I love that they basically made loads of quips about the serum. Just genius, because it's people are going to talk about this all the time. It doesn't make any sense, logically. Why would you not take the serum? Other than someone because I wanted to be human, so I get people things to believe in. And you're okay. The fact that he just makes jokes about it is just great. Yeah, and it was and I liked Winter Soldier because of the espionage part of it, and the espionage part wasn't as good in this one, but there was a little bit of it. There was your inner circle's being compromised. You don't really know why or how or whatever. And I liked the thing to do with Isaiah. I really like that. That added quite a lot of tension to it. As oh, this guy's he just suffered again, more suffering. And I just thought it was a solid story. Nowhere near as bad as anyone made it out to be. Better than a lot of movies that have come out, even from phase one. And just a fun watch, a good fun watch. Choreography was fine. Winter Soldier choreography was better. I thought the fight with Red Hulk was good. In the end, the last fight was good. And I was in my head, even when I watched that, I was they're going to probably end it with them talking him down. Based on what I was
the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. I was they have to end it with him. They can't beat him.
Because he didn't beat him with that.
He didn't beat him.
No, I just talked no jutsu.
They have to talk him down. I was that's the only way you're going to be able to make this thing work. You're going to have to talk him down. If they don't talk him down, they better... But yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I had some thoughts about it. Although I like the film, having the dust settled a little bit more, I feel it shouldn't have. It was the wrong film.
Interesting.
Because you know how people are saying it's a Hulk sequel. I feel they could have gone in a different direction that would have made more sense for a Captain America film. Because they talked about this whole adamantium thing. Remember, we've done this whole recap and none of us have mentioned adamantium in this.
That's true.
We kind of forgot it was a thing, and I feel they didn't make a big enough deal about the adamantium versus vibranium thing here, because there was an opportunity to introduce adamantium as a foil to his vibranium suit. You see what I mean? I guess you could do adamantium versus vibranium in Black Panther, but it's in this film. You see what I mean? Because when that guy, the first guy, slashed his chest, I was just like, how come he can cut this guy's
I was
chest?
wondering about that as well.
And apparently, it's not obvious. Apparently, that's because the knife was made from adamantium, but they didn't really make a big enough deal about the adamantium being.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was just like only certain parts of his suit, like mostly the wings.
Vibranium. Yeah, like the wings.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I didn't think the whole suit was vibranium. So when it happened, I didn't really think. I was like, it's not the whole suit.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just the wings that are vibranium. Maybe
because the wings and the helmet.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe not the helmet because Hulk was able to break it. But
so I saw that when helmet forms, it's like purple.
Okay.
That's why I thought maybe the helmet as well.
Yeah,
maybe you're right. Actually, he would break it if it was. That's true.
Well, I feel like they had an opportunity to go in the direction of Weapon Plus because of how related Weapon Plus is to Captain America. So the whole project is called Weapon Plus.
Yes.
And the reason why they don't need to go this deep, but the reason why the super soldiers were created is because of a response to response to fight mutants. That's the whole thing. They were scared of mutants and they needed people to fight to control them. But this whole Weapon Plus thing, Captain America is Weapon 1. Isn't he Weapon 1? I can't remember which weapon he is. But there's different weapons down to Weapon X and it's all the same. It all kind of like related,
right?
And the fact that they had adamantium thing, which is a Wolverine thing, is most known to be a Wolverine thing. They had such a good opportunity to put Wolverine as a post credits or something like that, or someone see what I mean? Because if the whole plot could have gone in a direction of like, because they went to Japan. And do you know who else uses adamantium in Japan?
Silver Samurai. Yeah.
So it could have been a adamantium versus vibranium kind of situation where, okay, it's like, okay, I've got my shield and vibranium stuff, but like the thing that makes me Captain America is mean. It's not the suit. And it could have been a thing of like, how is he going to beat someone that has a stronger weapon? And it could sword versus shield. It just narratively, it just kind of like writes itself, And
so, what are you saying, that Silver Samurai should have been the villain?
Silver Samurai and the leader should have been the villain, because the leader, like, even if you had to put the leader, that's fine. I don't mind that. But I don't. Even if you had to put Thunderbolt Ross there, the whole Red Hulk thing was a bit of a waste. Because there was a whole plot point of this adamantium thing that I feel was wasted, and they had so many characters that didn't need to be there. This the Sidewinder, he didn't need to be there.
And the short lady, what's her name?
The short lady, Ruth, she didn't need to be there. It could have been that black lady. She didn't really do much.
Even she didn't need to be.
She didn't need to be there.
One of them had to just do that role. Yeah.
So I just feel like they could have gone in that direction, and that's that way. Like, okay, we're talking about adamantium. Post credits, you see a capsule with someone in it, and it's like,
I completely agree with that, except for the fact that there's no way they would have done that.
Yeah,
because of the situation
too early.
It's like because of their sort of like their timeline. Like they wouldn't have put an X-Man there.
But then why introduce adamantium then? It just feels like,
to be honest, you're right. Like the introduce adamantium is also very confusing because it doesn't work in the timeline at all. No. Unless because really the best link that you have to adamantium is Wolverine. Really, there's no point bringing Omega Reds. I mean, you can bring Omega Reds in, but if you bring Omega Reds, you kind of need Wolverine.
Yeah.
And all the other people in my head I know use adamantium. Does that woman use adamantium fingers?
Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah,
I think so.
Right. Like, there are quite a few people you can bring in, but like I feel like bringing them in without bringing Weapon X in wouldn't have worked.
Unless
they're just a character that's there pre-experiment.
Yeah.
So you have Omega Red pre-experiment, basically. And then, like, imagine if Sidewinder was Omega Red before he was Omega Red. And then, basically, at the end, it's like he then gets introduced to the lab that would then turn him into Omega Red.
Omega Red, yeah.
So then it's like, you're right, because that's like Sidewinder character, you probably never see him again. He's just there, it's done, and that's just it.
Yeah, why? I don't know why they wasted that.
Yeah, they have a habit. What they do is that they get big time actors to play certain roles, but the roles are throwaway.
Yeah,
and
he wasn't even a main villain though. It
wasn't anything. You could have gone someone who was a bit like someone who's like cheaper. He's new to it, good actor or whatever. Get them to play that role, and then bring them back because they'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come back and like what's his face? I don't know his name, but he ain't gonna come back and play Sidewinder again. Maybe he will, but
unless he's like you said, Omega Red or something.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are definitely ways that the story could have been written better. But they would never have brought an X-Man. But you're right, the Adamantium was a waste.
Yeah. Carry.
They're probably going to do something with it, but it just that should have been the post credit. Like the post credit should have been that, not the what they did with the post credit, which is like, oh, there's various
because we don't care about that anymore. We're just like, whatever, get over.
Yeah, we know about the multiverse thing. So what was the point of him? Why was that the post credit?
Yeah,
it didn't give us anything new.
It kind of makes sense.
And how does he know about the multiverse anyway?
Probabilities, isn't it? He's smart. That's the thing. You need someone smart to kind of like talk about it, because they don't have Reed Richards.
Yeah, because Reed Richards is usually the one that says that stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, he's so smart that he got himself captured for no reason. But anyway.
Well, he did it because he needed basically to out Ross.
He could have done that without getting himself captured.
He could, but that's the reason that he decided to choose. I guess.
It was a bit weird, but
because he could have leaked the voice notes without actually being
exactly. He just when he was talking about the multiverse theory, and I was like, what? It didn't give us anything new. You know how Shang-Chi gave us that like signal that like it really and did nothing with it. But at the time, at the time, you're like, what is this? Like,
I was really excited about that.
What is that? And then just did nothing with it.
Did nothing with it.
What's the best post credit so far? Like from all of
this phase, in this phase or ever?
In this phase, Shang-Chi.
Yeah, it was, but they didn't do anything with it.
But they've done nothing with it. But it's the Shang-Chi.
Everything else has kind of been underwhelming and kind of.
Everything else is just like, why should I care?
What was it? The mutants one I get is the most mutants.
That's probably the worst.
That was
man.
That was bad. I was pissed off when I saw that.
Well, they're in another universe when that. So it shows the X-Men are in the current.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Why are you showing this?
It's pointless. So shoehorned.
It's pointless. It was just like a waste of. It felt a little bit like either we need to hype something up, or we just need to like give people a little bit of like something to like hold on to. You know?
For the YouTubers,
like, expecting, and you're just thinking, like, what's this? What do you mean? Like, this is lazy writing. What do you mean they're in a different universe? But
for no reason. Like, it's not going to lead on to anything.
Yeah,
like,
but they've written themselves into a war, obviously, because it's like you're saying the Adamantium came from a Celestial, and Celestial didn't arrive till almost feels like Eternal should have been set later. Like much later, so that that Celestial body would have been there for like years, you know, rather than being set in the present. They should have set it like maybe in like, I don't know, World War II, like 1940s or something, you know, or 1950s, something like that, just so that Wolverine could exist, you know, before. And even if they say we finally got this material, they can still have the same story. We've got this material, but actually that thing has been around for so long that who else would have gotten it, you know? And then it can just be easily distributed. They can just have it like Adamantium just in the world now, and it's fine. But they didn't do that.
Eternals happened in the present day, and we were all thinking, how the hell did all this happen and nobody else got involved? Like, because it seemed like a world event.
To be honest,
like a global.
I was happy that at least they referred to the bloody thing.
Yeah.
I was happy. Yeah. I mean, they did a little bit in the She-Hulk series, but I'm happy that they at least. In fact, in the She-Hulk series, they talked about Wolverine in the news.
They said the man with the claws in the bar fight, yeah.
So how does that even make sense?
How does that even make any sense? Oh, I forgot about that. How does that even make any sense?
Unless the only sense that I could make is if the Celestial body is there, somebody's already got.
But Wolverine has claws without adamantium, by the way.
He has bone claws. That's true.
He has bone claws.
They didn't say adamantium claws. They just said claws. I think.
Did they say metal claws? No,
I don't know.
Wait, let's see. Well, we have to look at that one. Man with claws.
That's just googling this all on the same podcast. It says man with claws. Man fights with metal claws in bar brawl.
Okay.
They fucked up. Well, that's a fuck up. Yeah, that's a
now,
big fuck up.
Then that just means that like
they're just not going to refer to
it. The Celestial was frozen. Someone got it and immediately
they actually effed it up. You know,
they messed it up.
Because how do you explain adamantium now?
How did
Wolverine get it? Yeah, but how did Wolverine get it before?
The timeline is too tight now. It's too tight. You're like,
unless She-Hulk is in another No, that doesn't even make sense either because Daredevil. That means Daredevil isn't in the current timeline.
Yeah,
so he's in an alternate timeline.
They've messed it up. They've messed it up because the timeline now, the timing is so tight. Like you could argue that the thing has already happened at that point. Like the moment, like literally, you have to be like the moment the celestial body was like there. They've already started doing stuff. Like otherwise,
but Wolverine is like 50-something years old, so Weapon X happened years before.
Yeah,
and then he was kind of. So the only way it makes sense is if they'll have to really keep an eye on this one. That means Daredevil, She-Hulk, Wolverine, they're all in a different timeline.
They can't be.
It can't be. It can't be because Spider-Man and Daredevil are in the same timeline. So they've actually messed up.
They've messed up.
Yeah, they've messed it up.
They're just not going to refer to that thing. It's just like a little tiny cameo thing. But
it's like it's silly because it's like throughout the entirety of Phase 1, every little thing mattered, and now it's just like, oh, it doesn't matter. We're just dropping stuff in.
Literally every little thing mattered in Phase 1. Yeah. Do you think? I've got a question. Do you think that movie culture? Okay, I would say. Do you think that content creators have ruined the movie-going experience?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Content creators have ruined a lot of things.
Because I feel like people are making trailers in order to get a reaction from them because they're going to do theory breakdowns and stuff like that. They haven't stopped talking about Dr. Doom since Robert Downey Jr. came out.
They're still talking about it.
Everyone's still talking about Dr. Doom. Thank you for giving us a job for several years, for 5 years.
I suppose, yeah.
So because when Phase 1 came out, people weren't really this whole theory culture and breakdown culture, trailer breakdown culture and stuff like that wasn't so prevalent. It was there. It was like things you missed in this trailer, and then when the movie will come out, it says, "Oh, things you missed from the movie." It was very light. It wasn't very like everyone's going into like the rumors. They're going into the people that are being hired, the actors, all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really, really hard to go into a movie blind.
Yeah,
it's really, really hard. Like
that's true.
So whenever it comes, and it's also the business side of things. Whenever it comes to like Comic-Con and stuff, they need to get people hyped. So they have to show the actors there.
Yeah,
they reveal who's playing certain roles. Like they revealed who was playing the leader back when in San Diego Comic-Con ages ago.
Right.
So it's a common knowledge that's who's going to be the villain and stuff like that. So, but and there's even more. I've just been skipping these videos, but apparently there's even more leaks that have come out now.
What about Fantastic Four and everything else?
About like the rest of the phase, like. And it's just ruining the whole thing. Like it's just, I just skip those videos now because I'm just, I don't care about these rumors because I want to go in blind. Because while I was watching Brave New World, I was like, I wish I had gone in blind with this thing. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, with Fantastic Four, I'm not even going to watch another trailer for it because like I know enough.
I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to watch it.
I know enough. So like, I want things to be a surprise.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I completely agree. I think like, unfortunately, people got to pay their bills, right? But the nature of like content these days is it's like there's too much of it. It's like, and everybody's repeating. It's being repeated. People are basically making stuff up just so they can basically have content. And like you say, the companies are also incentivized to give us stuff so that people can then make content. That's just like marketing. It's just marketing every day. So it's like the day of basically someone just saying this movie is going to come out and you see one trailer for it and then you just have to wait and that's it. You just have to wait. And or back in Phase 1 where I guess it wasn't that popular in Phase 1. Like it got popular, I guess after like, I don't even know, maybe after the first Avengers, maybe that's when it kind of blowing up and stuff. But before then, it was like no one cared.
Yeah.
Like being into Marvel stuff wasn't that cool yet. So no one really like gave a crap. No one making content of it. People probably were, but it wasn't like everywhere. Yeah. I'm not even sure. Yeah. Was TikTok even around then? I don't even know.
Don't think so.
And it's like, yes, I understand that the companies need to like do this. They don't really have a choice now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, do they?
they could at least do a red herring. So, like, for example, in the Infinity War trailer, you know, when they had like originally they had the Hulk running with everyone in Infinity War.
Oh yes,
that was not in the film.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Like you could put things that are fake. They can do it. They're just not doing it.
Yeah, and maybe it's to do with like time and
maybe
because they, like you said, like for this phase they really rushed this phase, and because they really rushed this phase, most of the movies are bad.
But that's not even true though.
Is that not true?
No, most of the movies of this phase have been at
50,
least
50.
good. I think it's even more than 50.
Let's say Shang-Chi, Guardians 3.
Guardians 3 is like the best one.
Guardians 3 one of the best, yeah.
Guardians 3, what else have they done?
Like Panther 2.
The Marvels. Yeah,
the Marvels
this phase.
The Marvels,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, good.
Yeah, good.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
I liked it, but some people didn't like it.
Some people didn't like it.
No, so not WandaVision.
Multiverse of Madness. Phase 4 movies.
We're going to do a tier list anyway.
Let me just get the list.
Yeah, we should.
Because
I think Thor Love Thunder. Are we doing a different episode? Or are we doing?
We'll do this quickly, but then we'll do a proper tier list like another episode.
There's Thor Love Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda, Forever, Spider-Man No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Black Widow was actually also this phase apparently.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah, it's the first movie in this.
Well, it takes place before Civil War.
It's a prequel.
It's
after Civil War, so it's a bit like
it's still this phase.
How is that multiverse saga though? It just doesn't make
sense.
It's a contract obligation, but yeah.
Shang-Chi. That's it.
Marvels.
Mark's on my list. Oh,
Marvels.
I don't say Marvels. Oh, it says Miss Marvel. Okay, Marvel's 9.
And then Brave New World.
And Brave New World 10. So the 10 movies so far.
4 of those have been bad.
So like the only good ones.
I'll say 6 are good.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, 60%. That's all right.
6 is actually not bad. I mean, almost interesting to almost compare it with them. But were they less or more? There were more movies in Phase 1. There were quite a lot more in Phase 1.
Because now they're doing 3. They're doing at most 3 movies a year
Phase
now.
1? How many movies were in Phase 1? I don't think there were that many, you know.
Because 60% is pretty good.
Phase 1.
Like, it's not terrible. So why do we feel...
I think there's maybe 10. Yeah,
about 10 movies in Phase 1.
If there are 60, if there are like 6 out of 10 movies that are actually quite good, then why does this phase feel so bad?
No, so Phase 1 was Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America 1, Avengers.
That was it. That's it. Phase 1.
Yeah. That's actually not bad, you know. I didn't like Iron Man. I thought Iron Man was boring, but
Iron Man 1 was. I like Iron Man.
I liked Iron Man 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say Iron Man 2. Do you guys like Iron Man 2?
No.
No. Okay. Thor 1 was.
No, I didn't like what people liked.
It was alright.
I don't like what people.
So out these is saying Incredible Hulk.
Incredible
Hulk
Phase 1 was not
alright. It was alright.
That came out a month after Iron Man. That's
the one
crazy.
With Abomination, right?
Abomination, yeah.
That came out a month after Iron Man, you know? That's crazy. Yeah, they just threw that one in for some reason.
I thought that was meh, but still carry on.
So let's say out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've got 60, yeah, say 3, 50%. Right?
50% in that one as well.
Avengers is probably the best one out of the...
Avengers 1 is Phase 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Avengers 1
So Avengers 1, and then maybe Captain America 1, and then Thor, maybe. I don't know. So actually, yeah, 3 out of 6 ain't too bad.
Yeah, that's still... Yeah, okay. So actually, maybe just because this phase isn't connected as well.
It's just not well connected, but the majority of them have been good.
Are pretty good.
So
people are chatting up their arse because like people, they just that the expectations are just way too high or something. Because having with so many that have come out like 10, are you saying that the majority of them have been bad?
And they haven't actually.
Just look back and be like, that's no, true. That's not the truth.
That's true.
The majority of them have been good.
That is true, which is surprising actually, because I would have thought most of them were bad.
Yeah, they've set a bar really high for themselves. I think that's the problem.
I mean, because Phase 3 was probably the best, like hands down the best.
Did Phase 3 have?
Phase 3 had Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Homecoming, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's not
It's
even
up there.
close. That is the
you know what? Maybe what happened was like we had like phase 1, which was like the starter, right? So just like there, and then phase 2 comes out and it's like the main course, and then there were just all these bangers and like the build up was just like you're just like here because you're in phase 2. You're like so high. You have like you're in this high into it where you're so excited for the next movie, and it was like hit, and then you're still like on this high, and then the movies are coming out and they're like here. They're like just the high is just dropping, and I guess people's expectation now is like so high from. You almost have to reset everything again.
Yeah.
And like mentally, I'm not reset either. Like I'm expecting I expect like the movies to be at least as decent as Brave New World. I prefer them to be better, but they need to be at least this okay. They can't be the Marvels like that. Like I don't even know.
But it's like a 50% hit rate on average, a 50% hit rate, barring phase 3. Phase 3 was like the good movies were really, really, really good.
Yeah. The good movies are.
But
really
in general,
good.
it's like bad, good. It's kind of like that's kind of
like
how
bad,
it is.
Okay, bad, good, bad, okay. Because the movies that we're saying that actually like they weren't bad, but they also weren't like amazing.
They were okay.
They were just like fine.
So barring phase 3,
apart from Guardians 3.
So barring phase 3, you're saying the rest, phase 1, 2, and 4 have been
that's probably safe to say.
So it really is. Yeah. So phase 3 is the only thing that's carrying,
and that's
MCU really.
It had phase 1 and 2 to carry it.
Yeah. The build up from 1 and 2 made it.
So we're building up again, but they messed up this thing. So it's like building up to nothing.
You said something about the critics and stuff. You made that point, like saying like when critics, their comments about this movie versus you said like what was it? The people.
Yeah. So according to the people that I've watched, they're saying that basically critics don't like the film, don't like Brave New World. They're more harsh with their comments, whereas people that are just going in that aren't critics, they seem to enjoy the film. They're like, the film's good. I enjoyed it. Like again, not mind blowing, but like, it was a good film.
Critics also didn't like Doctor Strange too.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
So you have the critics that are coming in. I think part of this problem is also like the moviegoers. The MCU films aren't for comic fans. They're not. So like, not primarily. No, like they have things for comic fans to enjoy. Yeah. But they're catering to people that don't read comics. They're catering. Yes,
I'd say that.
So these things that people saying, they need to have this and this and that. They don't, because the average person is going to get confused, right? So they're catering it to someone that doesn't read the comics. I don't read the comics like that. So it's for someone maybe, and it's not even for me because I know I watch a lot of comic videos and stuff. But it's for people that don't really read the comics, but they enjoy a superhero film maybe and whatever it is. And so they have to consider them primarily. So the critics that are making these comments, that the ones that are comic book fans, it's a bit unfair because just like the movie's not primarily for you. So you're going in with your comic expert head, expecting a comic expert movie, but it's like but so now you're seeing all the issues here that like, it would have been a better film if I did this, if they had so many opportunities and blah blah blah. But you're not seeing it from the perspective of like the average moviegoer. The average MCU fan does not read the comics. They don't.
Yeah, I can agree to some of that. I think like there's a bit of both. Like I think they want to cater to the masses, but they also want to like excite the fans. But there are some, like for example, if they made Eternals with the mindset of what the Eternals actually are, people would have just been like confused.
What the hell is this?
People would have just been like, I don't. What do they mean that Hulk doesn't exist without blah? But at the same time, like I feel like they don't have to go too bad, but they can just dip into it a little bit. Like I think it would have been worthwhile for you to understand that, like what the Eternals actually stand for in the grand scheme of things. That would have made it a better movie. But maybe
they're not trying to do that though, is there? I think even Birdemill
would have been too much.
They're trying to do their version of this rather than just doing an actual adaptation of.
I don't think they should just do exactly what the comics do, because the comics are like
too complicated.
Yeah, they're so complicated. Like they shouldn't just copy the comics.
And they're changing all the time.
And they change it all the time. Yeah, exactly.
Franklin Richards, he's a mutant, then he's not a mutant, then he's a mutant, then he's not a mutant.
Yeah.
She's a mutant, then she's not a mutant, then she's a mutant, she's not a mutant.
Yeah.
Like, it's
they're just doing it their way. As long as there's like an end goal to what they're saying.
Yeah, they're constrained also by like you said, you can't make any Hulk movies. You can't use mutants. You can't use I mean, they can now.
They can now,
yeah. But before they couldn't use mutants, so it's like they can't really copy one for one. But I do think like what they seem to be doing, which I agree with, is that they'll look at their like franchises, right, or their comics, and they go, them, let's do them, and then they just make a movie with them. They put a character in this thing, and it's like completely separate from what that character actually means for the story. Like Null, for example. Like they haven't.
Oh God!
Apparently, no, that's not MCU. That's something else. I know. What's the other guy's name? The God Killer, right?
Gore, the God Butcher,
like that. Like just what they did with him was like, this is a waste of a character. Even if I understand that you're not doing it for the comic viewers, but you're almost like completely.
You have to respect the source material, though.
Exactly. You're completely isolating.
I don't really think they do that. I think that's the whole point. They don't really respect source material per se. Like, look what they did with Adam Warlock. They just made him a joke character when he's like one of the biggest protagonists in the entire Infinity War, but they just skipped it and just made him a joke, basically. Because even when you saw Adam Warlock in thing, you're thinking, "Oh, Adam Warlock's coming," and he just ended up being a joke character.
And it's true. Like so they kind of waste really, really important characters. Maybe because they feel like they don't have the resource to really like embellish them. Because really, characters like Adam Warlock, characters like Doom, characters like Gorm the God Killer, they're not one movie characters. They are like you can make an entire phase with just Gorm the God Killer. You can make an entire phase with just him. He can basically beat Thanos.
Fair.
But they don't do that.
You can do Galactus too, but they're just using them for one movie, so it's what it is.
It's like Galactus shouldn't be one movie. Galactus is.
Why would you use Galactus?
It should have been since Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
it should have been like people were thinking that's probably a Galactus beacon, like but like he's coming in very late. Why would
you use him now and then use him essentially for one movie? Because he's not the main. He's not the big villain of the phase.
Yeah, it's a waste
of the saga. Sorry, it's Doom.
Yeah,
and you've already wasted Kang.
And one thing I wanted to say as well about that I liked about the Brave New World is that low stakes, just so low stakes.
Yeah,
and relatable low stakes. And it's just like every movie does not have to be world ending. Everybody has to be universe imploding, and it just makes you just don't care because you're just like, and then when you do an introduction movie and you're doing it as big as Galactus, and you're like, oh, this is just another world ending thing. Like, how many world-ending things can you do in a week?
They'll do Apocalypse next because he's for sure going to be the next antagonist in the Mutant Saga. It has to be Apocalypse.
Yeah. Even Apocalypse, I'm like...
It's going to be Apocalypse.
Well, maybe it'll be Apocalypse. Maybe it'll be Onslaught. Maybe. Who knows?
They ain't doing Onslaught, man. I thought Onslaught is X-Men 97. It ain't going to be... Because they're already doing Onslaught there, basically. The whole thing.
They?
It looks like Onslaught. To me, I think it's going to be Onslaught. Because when Magneto and Doctor... Sorry, we're skipping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're going to do Onslaught in some capacity. I know they're doing Apocalypse, but I think Apocalypse is going to be Mutant Saga as well.
Also, I kind of feel like... Haven't they done enough Apocalypse, though? Like,
who else can
he's the only one they can use. Because it's mutants, it's focused on the mutants. They have to use a mutant as the antagonist.
Do they?
What better personality is the first ever one, right?
Or... it could be Avengers vs. X-Men, and instead of Hope Summers, it's Wanda.
Wanda's dead.
She's not dead. She's not dead. She's
not dead. She ain't dead.
So you're saying basically...
Because I think she's going to replace the Molecule Man.
And to be the...
Um,
Do you think they're going to be that clever about it? I don't think they're going to be that clever about it.
I don't think she's dead. I think she's going to... Because she's warps reality. Who else?
I think she comes back. You know what I think she comes back, and then in the movie leading to the final big movie to end Mutant Saga, she eliminates all mutants. Just removes all mutant powers. 100% they're going to do something mad like that.
You know why I don't think... Okay, so this is the thing that's quite funny about the conversation is because we just said they wouldn't do stuff like that because it's too it's too like catering to the comic fans too much. Even though I think that's what they should do, and I like changing Molecule Man to be Wanda
because they can't introduce him.
They're not going to do Smoky Man, no.
Yeah.
But then what you're sort of like explaining is
it's still a bit complicated.
Is it Secret Wars? Or
Secret Wars.
Right. Okay.
I feel like Wanda is going to be important in Secret Wars. I'm just guessing though, because just like how else are you going to create everything, and how else are you going to redo the universe unless you use maybe?
But they're not. I don't think they're going
to
do, because in the original Secret Wars, it wasn't Doom and it wasn't Molecule Man. It was
the
Beyonder.
Right, and that was just a thing for them to sell toys. It was just that everyone fight
to sell toys. Because I'd be very surprised if they go that route, because I think it's too complicated. And I think for that you need Doom to be a main.
But Doom is the main one
Is he?
in Secret Wars?
Secret Wars, yeah, he's God King.
The second Secret Wars is Doom. That's the main villain.
Yeah, he will be.
But I don't think they're doing the second Secret Wars.
They are.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, of course
they're
doing God King Doom for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
You're surprised?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, they are doing.
I don't know enough about the second Secret Wars.
It's not Beyonders.
No, I think they do Beyonders.
Because he killed. Because didn't Doom kill the Beyonders and then
he become God?
Yeah. So I took their powers to become God King.
I feel like because basically they're edging towards Secret Wars now.
Yeah,
but there's no groundwork.
None.
There's zero groundwork.
Let me see what.
Well, when I say groundwork, I don't mean like we don't know that it's coming. I mean like Doom doesn't even exist in the MCU yet.
They were gonna have to huge retcon things, man.
To me, I'm just like, for them to do this, it's going to be a mess.
I mean, Thanos wasn't really introduced up until no. Thanos was introduced. No, he was, but until you actually saw his face was Age of Ultron.
But you knew he was there. He existed.
They've got time to do it. Like, let's be frank, man. Come on,
mention Doom. All we've seen is the bad casting. That's it. All we've seen about Doom is bad casting.
Wait. They've got time to introduce. They've got Thunderbolts. They've got what do you call it? Fantastic Four. No, I'm not saying, but they've got like Thunderbolts. They've got shows. They've got time to introduce.
Bunch of shows, bruv. Like.
I mean, I don't disagree they're not going to do Secret Wars. I just don't think they're going to do it well.
They've got Doomsday.
But that's to do it with. So Doomsday is about Doom, right? But Doomsday is Doomsday a Doom movie or is it a Fantastic Four movie?
It's an Avengers movie.
It's an Avengers movie.
Avengers versus
Doom.
New Avengers versus Doom.
Is that actually what it is?
There has to be, because every single movie they've hinted towards a new Avenger. They've got Joaquin now; he's a new Falcon. He's a new Avenger. Yeah. You've got all of these people, right? So they're doing New Avengers.
You see all of these people, we don't even know who.
I mean, it's Miss Marvel. We have Shang-Chi. We have Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel. What do you call it? Falcon. We've got probably Echo. Who else is there?
Is Echo?
Hawkeye. Who's what's her name?
The girl. I can't remember the name.
Yeah. Kate Bishop. Then you've got Monica Rambeau.
Apart from Rambo, they're all weak. Wait, isn't Rambo gone? No,
she's in another universe.
Another universe,
yeah, but she's gone then, isn't she? Like
she's coming back, man. That Captain Marvel came back.
This is some weak ass team, but okay.
And they've got Iron. Was it Ironheart?
Yeah, that they cancelled her.
It's New Avengers, bro. Come on.
I mean,
they're definitely doing New Avengers versus Doctor Doom. 100%.
I think they're gonna do
introduce these characters for no reason.
Avengers versus like some variant Avengers or something weird like that.
I think yes, they might do some throwaway like Illuminati nonsense where they're going to bring in a bunch of people and just off them.
Or anti-Avengers, like they bring them.
Yeah, like for Secret Wars, they'll do Secret Wars. I know they'll do Secret Wars because that's what they're hinting at.
That's what they've said. They're doing Secret Wars.
I'd be so surprised. Like if I agree, Secret Wars 2 with Doom is the best way to go. I just don't think they have.
It's the only way to go
because the Secret Wars Doom, like Human Torch is a son. The thing is like a war. Like they're not going to turn these characters. They just introduced them. They're not going to do that with the Fantastic Four.
Look at Infinity, a light version of it. Yeah, but look at Infinity War, the original, like the original in the comics versus who was in? Didn't they throw Spider-Man? No, Wolverine in space. Like they never did things like that in the MCU Infinity War, but it was still good.
Yeah, it'll be like a light.
That was a classic moment where Rufus is literally dying in space.
But the Infinity War, like the crux of it was that Thanos had all the stones, and old people had to come and like beat him essentially. But the whole thing with him like killing half the population, that's new. like Regional Thanos wants to kill everybody. He doesn't want to kill our population. Like that's new. Like to me, like they did all the foundational stuff to get there, but in this one, I'm like, where's the foundation? All you're doing is saying these other worlds exist, and there's something coming. That's all you've done. You haven't done anything else. There is no Doom. There is no Doom. Doom should be here already, and he's not there. How many movies have we got until they're going to do the Secret Wars thing? How many? 3?
Maybe 3 or 4.
4?
Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four.
Thunderbolts, I guess we introduce more characters. Yeah.
Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. I think that's it.
No, there's more. Definitely.
So you tell me they're going to sort this out in 2 movies? I mean, I'm not disagreeing that they won't do it with Doom. I just don't think it's going to be good.
There's no Blade, so I don't know. Yeah,
there's not that many. There's no homework. There's no homework. There's no
when does Doomsday come out? 26. Oh, wow, they really don't. No, you're right. You're right. They've got 2 or 3 movies to do. They don't have
what? How are they going to do this?
And they haven't introduced the Doom yet. Yeah, you're right. I actually agree.
How are they going to do it?
I actually agree with you. They've got like 2 or 3 movies left.
Like
because they don't have Blade anymore. So
if he's not in Thunderbolts, then
they've got 1.
Like it's not going to be a clever Secret Wars. Yeah. Like I'd be surprised if Doom is even the villain in it. Is even
in Secret Wars? He has to be. Because
I'm saying like how
they've got Fantastic Four. Is the only way they're going to do it post credit.
Like they do some Fantastic Four, then
and then
and then he has to get a power source to do it. Maybe it's Wanda. And
or
then,
Franklin Richards.
Or Franklin. Yeah. Okay, if Franklin's in it,
it'll make more sense to be Franklin.
It'll make more sense if Franklin's
to be honest. Yeah.
And then he have to. Okay, how does Secret Wars 2 start?
Incursions. It's Doctor Doom's fault, basically.
Well, he causes incursions, and then he turns Molecule Man into a power source.
So he killed there's a Molecule Man in every universe.
Oh, okay.
And if you destroy one, if one dies, it sends a ricochet effect,
right,
and stuff. So I think he got tricked by the Beyonders or something like that, and he killed one of the Molecule Men, and it's basically caused the incursions or something like that. But he's still the one that fixed it. kind of fixed it.
I mean, they'd have to do something so clever with it. Yeah, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe the best way for them to do it is to use WandaVision as the engine, and then Doom has to do something with it. I guess I can't think of any other way that it would work.
And isn't there like another Vision? Anyways,
White Vision.
What's he gonna do?
I don't know.
I think Young Avengers. I don't know.
That's just a plot point. That's just there. They're just floating.
Yeah, I'm
just bring everyone in Doomsday, kill off as many people as possible.
Yeah, that's probably not bad.
And then keep just the popular ones. I don't care who dies. I actually don't care. Let Spider-Man die.
If they kill all the Avengers.
I don't care. Just give me tidy films. I'm tired.
I think they go do something drastic. They go like kill all the old Avengers or something like that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to kill. I mean, them writing off older characters is like expected. Like whenever a character dies in it, I'm like, okay, that's how they get rid of you. Cool, because the contracts are ending, and they're just like, we need to like tie you up into a neat little
from
bow.
The old Avengers, who's there?
And also, these movies are always years and years and years apart, so those people are aging visibly.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you see them, you're like, oh.
But yeah, they can't. Yeah, who would they actually get rid of though?
I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean,
that would make sense.
We'll come back to this when the movie comes out, and I'll just be like,
we're just gonna be frustrated.
You can't if you're listening to this on like but I'm holding my head. Because I don't know how they're going to do it properly.
I don't know.
I'm just like
the Russo brothers write good films. So
is it the Russo brothers?
The Russo brothers. I can trust the Russo brothers because their track record is good. They wrote Community. The track record is good.
Wait, didn't they do Star Wars?
I don't think they did. Did they?
No, it wasn't Russo brothers.
It's the Guardians guy that did Star Wars. One of the Star Wars things, but the Russo brothers, I think they know what they're doing, but like I feel like they're being strong armed a bit by the suits, maybe because
there's a bunch of things that they probably would want to be there so they can sell stuff.
Yeah, because they've always wanted to do Doctor Doom. They were always going to do Doctor Doom. They said that we'll come back if we can do Doctor Doom Secret Wars.
I really kind of want Doctor Doom to just have his own movie.
Yeah,
I mean maybe it won't make any sense, but I feel like he almost needs a movie before he's Doom.
Do you know what it should be? Like something that would be very, very helpful is if it's not you don't have to watch them, but if the TV series help fill in the gaps of like certain things,
people will hate that. I'm fine with that.
Not the whole thing, but you can still watch it, because like, for example, Brave New World, you can watch it without watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
You can watch it
true.
For the most part.
True.
So, but it fills in the gaps and gives you a bit more context as to why the race stuff and everything. Like, it just gives you more context, but it's not essential watching.
That shit down in Brave New World.
Oh yeah. But why would they retread it? But yeah, I don't know.
Current political climate. There's no point.
Yeah,
just leave it.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
it's true.
It's true.
There's no point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it really. Oh, I forgot my recommendation. I completely forgot what it was at the end of the episode. Freaking Paradise.
Oh yes, you said I should watch
Paradise
on Disney, right?
Yeah.
Paradise. What is it even about?
I'm not telling you. Go in blind.
Okay.
Go in blind. It's actually the writer of This Is Us that created it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I know this actor. Yeah, that the same.
Disney.
Watch Paradise.
Oh.
Watch it. Don't read anything about it. Don't read the description. Go in blind.
Okay.
Watch it.
All right.
I finished it.
Maybe I'll give an episode of it.
I was just like,
then.
this is good.
I'm still watching like Severance and stuff.
I've got a lot to catch up on. Jeez.
Yeah, there's so much shows now. Jesus Christ.
Other than that, Loading Time podcast. What do you guys think about everything?
Our people listening are just like making their own. They're probably going to assume like Mullican Man will be in there knowing them.
He's not going to be in this.
Even if
he's not.
Man, he'll be a joke. He'll be a joke.
Maybe they'll do something with it. Imagine they use Sentry as the power source.
That would be stupid. That would be so stupid.
Know what they do, man. I don't know.
The Sentry versus Super Soldiers thing, I am not buying.
Yeah, I'm not really buying it either.
I'm not buying. How do you punch? This guy is basically Superman.
None of them are strong enough to fight Sentry.
They even said it in the trailers, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But they're gonna do some wishy-washy way. I mean, I'm slightly hopeful after watching Brave New World, but because I actually saw that second trailer and I was like, oh, this movie might be trash, you know. But slightly optimistic after watching Brave New World. Maybe they'll surprise me. Because Brave New World still had a bit. I'm getting into this again. Brave New World still had a little bit of that, like, what's it called? The tropey stuff to it.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it was still actually okay.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see,
man. We'll see. Loading Time podcast. Let us know what you think. All right.
Ciao.
Peace.
Laters.